and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are with what's probably going to be the last in this series of videos where I'm basically putting in this kind of a dotted bracelet. And you might notice right out the gate that I darkened out my template because the color I want to use is this lighter blue. And I realized that it would look too close to our normal template color. So I just swapped out the template color for this nice dark blue. And this way it's a little bit easier. It's I can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. So there we go. So there's all of our dots. And I guess we could zoom in a little bit just to put in the starting of these underlying strings. That's one, and that's one. So it kind of goes like that. All right. Well, I have to do them anyways. I'm only doing 1/4 of the whole design because I'll be able to copy and paste this over on the other side because this has the cool symmetry about it. Which I'm also kind of curious how this is gonna turn out around the middle area. I already have in my mind what I'm gonna do, but I haven't made the pattern yet. So yeah, we'll find out how that works kind of as we go along. So anybody who's new to this pattern making idea, all I'm doing is I'm tracing out how a string would travel and go with the knots. So right now, this would be basically, if this pattern was going to be just two colors, it would be that dark and this light. And you can see, you know, it either goes straight through or here in the middle, it changes direction. When we paste in the other side, that'll actually turn out that it's just straight through from the other side. But if this half was only all we were doing, then it would just be a change of direction right there in the center. And the same number of strings that we had at the top need to be the same number we have down at the bottom, right? So to check that theory, we can just make a straight line here and see it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's what we started with. So we know that we haven't missed one on our way down, because that can happen sometimes. Sometimes when you're working it out and you're trying to make the pattern, you lose track of one of the strings, and that's a complication that can actually make trying to make out a pattern very difficult, especially if you're mistakenly leaving it out and it shows another color like this already, so then it would be very confusing. But here at the very middle, that's all we need to go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, we still have all 4 strands together. Works out well. All right, so the next color I need, nice dark red like this. Perfect. So this time we're going to carry the color all the way down. Instead of, before we were doing the colors, it would just do 2 and then the next color would do 2. This is going to be very different from that. So that one carries all the way down to the end, and then it works its way back to the middle, and then it comes down again. And then it works its way back to the middle. Huh. Wow, And it's going to make something of a diamond thing here. So that's going to be cool. All right, the next color is a little bit lighter of a red. So you can see in this case here where this nut is, it can either be one of two. It can either be the blue or this red. But because the blue are making dots, then it really basically has to be the red. Otherwise, it stops being the dots. So, oops. And then this comes back in. And again, we can follow its path straight along until it gets to the middle. Now over here where this blue is, oh wait, no, that's gotta be, that one is, that one is, and that one is. So yeah, there's, as we trace these strings down, you can see that they have to, they either have to be there or the dots have to be there. It's one of the two. And we want this to have the same similarity that we've been doing with the rest of these patterns. So this will be the color coming down here. So this will be that red. This will be the color that comes down here. This will be that red again, and back to the center. And then that makes the little diamond in the middle. Okay, so we followed it all the way down, and that works out. So now I go get the next color. I thought I already had a color that would work for this, but that's all right. All right, while I'm filling this one in, let me just thank my YouTube members who make all of this possible. Without their help, I wouldn't have string to be able to actually make all these bracelets. So thank you very much for your contribution. It may not seem like an awful lot because it's like $4 in the US or $5 Singapore. But it makes a heck of a big difference as far as me doing this string. It might take a few months of saving up to get a string order, but that's still better than, you know, nothing. So, all right, so this, see, it's a straight row going this way, and then it shows up every time over the blue rows. So, and there, it ends right there. Okay, and then there's just one more row. I just now need an even lighter one. There we go. So the colors I'm choosing are actually kind of close to the strings themselves. So that'll make making the whole bracelet just a little bit easier. Although I don't think I'm going to have to look at the pattern for this other than to kind of spot where the middle is, because this is really a beginner friendly bracelet. Hang on, I just noticed that one's missing a spot. And this one's missing a spot. Or two. 3. 4. Yeah. So yeah, catching mistakes as I go along is kind of handy, because I think that means I've got it all. So there it is. There's our quarter of the pattern done already. Let me move that to the middle just a little bit. And now I'm going to use this select tool And I'm going to select that whole top corner. And I'm able to do that because I have guidelines. Guidelines make this so much easier. I hit Control C for copy, Control V for paste, and get the flip tool. And then using that guideline, I use the flip tool to go horizontally. Like in my head, that kind of lost track of which one is which. Yeah, horizontally. So there we go. Now we go up here to layer and anchor that layer. So then we can get the select tool again, and we can select the whole top half. Control C, Control V. Again with the flip tool, this time we go to the horizontal line and it will flip vertically. Back up to layer and anchor that layer. And there is our bracelet. So as you can see, it's going to be pretty interesting looking. These long straight rows, the way the dots go, it's going to be a fascinating bracelet. I really like it. This, you know, it kind of goes straight, you know, well, it kind of makes that corner, comes down, makes the corner the other way. And each one does that. I think that's really cool. And then this center with the dark diamond, I think is really going to be really neat looking. So there we go. There's our pattern for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I do appreciate that. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.